Okay, it might be hard for you to see, but I've drawn a line, we've run a level across it, we've drawn a line, so we're 15 millimetres out on that part. As we come through with our line, you can see the big gap. So again, 15 millimetres out there, 20 millimetres out there, 15 millimetres out there, and then these is just bits of feathering. It's hard for you to see on this camera YouTube, but that line is up and down like a prostitute's knickers. Okay, so today's job is to put this right. We need to build out to this line, we need to have a perfectly straight line along there. This will have to be feathered in. Today I'll show you how to do a little job like this. I say little. Okay, let's talk about what we're going to need to do this job. So today, we're doing site work. We need to be fast. We've got a painter waiting to come in here. So we're using Easy Fill 20, which dictates it goes off in 20 minutes. Normally, we'd use the 60, which takes 60 minutes to go off, but we've not got time today, we've got to be fast. You're going to have a bucket with some water. Make sure your bucket's clean. Sponge float, trowel, couple of filling knives, and away we go. We've also got a compound here that we use at the end. That's for finishing it. So this is Gyp Rock ready mix joint cement. First things first, we need to mix up some powder. Okay, as you can see YouTube, when I mix this filler, I like to keep mine fairly thick. If it's too thin, I won't be able to get the coverage on there. Okay, so start applying on this line now. So we've got a line, we've got to bring through to there. Now because it's running to 15 to 20 millimetres in the middle, it's not going to be easy. It'll take a couple of coats to build it out and to get it flat. What we're looking to do on this first coat is build out as far as I can to that line. I might struggle when it starts coming up to 20 mil, but as long as I get it close, I know I can get it on the next coat. Always try and bring these edges in as fine as you can when you're doing it as well. These will be the bits that you end up sanding. Okay, so if you see, I'm not putting a lot on at a time. I'd rather put it on a couple of layers. And take your time with it. If you rush, that's what you end up with. Okay, we're getting a few lines there, but we're not too worried about them. All that means is you've got a low point here, so your trowel's dragging into it. So we just need building out just that tiny bit more. So take your time with it. Make it as neat as we can. Again, some on the trowel, force it into that edge, and come through across. Now we're getting to the meat bit. our first pass, it's still very, very tacky. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come through all this with a sponge float. I'll explain why. Because this steel trowel, sort of smooth, sharp edge. All that's going to do is skip across the top, whereas that'll move the filler. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So we've got some lines here, and we've got this top we've got to try and bring in a little bit. Now, if the top's on thinner, that's already starting to dry a little bit. Like I say, it's an easy fill 20 this, so it doesn't take long to start picking up. I'm going to start on that far corner where you can't actually see me, but I'm going to work my way along and chop the way through it. I'm trying to bring it through and make sure we're on that line. I'm not bothered about ruining the finish on this because we're putting another coat on it in a minute. So again, we're going to run it through, make sure we're on our line. And we're going to drag some stripes into it. All we're doing here, YouTube, is that will flatten this work. That won't flatten it. That'll finish it, but that'll flatten it. Every time you use your sponge float, you've got to clean it because you don't want that white stuff setting hard. Okay, we're going to go back and take a little look at the finish. As you can see, we're filling out to that line, but you'll be able to see them ugly stripes all inside the work. Can you see them? Come down here a little bit there. There we go. Look at them stripes. Now we're not worried about these stripes, okay? These we can get rid of. The main thing is we're trying to get to this line. We're trying to bring this through as straight as we can. So like I say, it will get a second coat. It'll actually get a third coat as well. That'll be a finished coat. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to trowel these lines out, then we're going to mix some more gear up. So again, you want your trowel clean. You should have wet it up a little bit just so it doesn't drag and stick to the filler. Right, YouTube, let's see if we can do a close-up on this passing. So I know this is starting to firm up a little bit now. So I can apply a little bit of pressure. Not too much. All I'm looking to do is take out them little lines that I've put in. Now this is not a finished product. I'm going to show you in a minute how this helps as well. So you can see, I've still got lines in it after I'm troweling now, just flattening this off. So I know that's a low bit. So on my next pass, it'll show me where I need to fill. So again, just get rid of these pronounced lines. Okay, I'm going to mix some filler up and we'll get ready to give this a second coat. Okay, so we've got this first coat on, it's firmed up. It's now ready to get another coat. So clean these edges off, make sure we can still see that line that we need. So we now know we're about 3 or 4 mil away from that line. This is the heaviest bit, this is 20 mil deep. So we've done pretty well. Like I say, we've probably filled out 15 mil there. So We'll mix some more getting up. Now this one made a little bit wetter, as you can see. Because this is the second coat, I want to try and keep it as fine as I can on this edge. So I'm going to be blending this right the way through. Also just filling out this last few millimetres that we need. Okay, what we're trying to do here, we're doing a fine fill. We want this to be a tight coat as well. So this is just bringing in them edges at the top. Taking our time to make sure we've got it on nice and flat. We're not leaving trowel lines. Take your time at this stage. I mean, we'll get a final coating, but just take your time with it. Try and get it neat. Fill out any slacks. It's your first coat you put on that you built it out with. So now, this is just fine filling and getting a better finish on it. Any slacks, get a bit of gear in it and bring it through again. Now for most people, you probably get away with just giving it the 2 coats and I like sanding. But I don't know what to do with sanding, so I'll give it 3 coats. Okay, so now we're getting to the bit where it was heavier. You see, we've still got to build out because we're leaving lines. So a bit more on, bring it through. Another pass. So we're getting this bit needs building out. We've got a few millimetres to build out on this bit. So we're not too worried if we leave the odd little line on this now. We're going to pass it again with the trusty sponge float. We'll flatten that bit back out. So what you'll find, because it's quite heavy, because you're putting quite a bit on, it won't be as easy to fill and flatten in one pass. You take your time with it. The main thing is you want it straight. The finish you can keep going over till you get the right finish. You can either apply more filler, or you can let it dry, sand it back. You've got loads of options, but you want it straight, you want it flat. So like I say, at this stage, don't worry about the odd tram line. You concentrate on making sure everything's filled out. You've got it as flat as you can. Okay, let's have a close up. So we're bringing this through now to this line. And on this second pass, you can see we've got it a lot neater and we've kept this edge a lot finer. So this is the bit that was worse. This was 20mm deep in this middle bit. So you can see, well, you can't actually, I've got the odd little trowel line. You see? Trowel line, trowel line. Now this is still quite soft and wet. So I'm going to let that firm up a little bit and I'll take them out with the sponge float and it'll be ready for its final coat. The main thing is getting that line straight, so you can see from the far end. Sorry about the light, YouTube, it's not the best in here. So again, you can see now we've brought that line through, it's fairly straight. Final coat will do any last tiny imperfections. But other than that, we're fairly happy that the customer's going to have a straight wall. Okay, so we've got our first 2 coats on. We're now going to give it a tight coat of joint cement. Like I say, this is only good for fine filling. You can see how wet it is. So we're going to bring this through now. This will be our finished coat. By the time we've applied this, and we're going to bring these edges in nice and fine, you will not need to sand this. That is the trick that we're aiming for. We're going to get away with the sanding, bring it all through. We'll show you quite fast on how to bring this through now. This will be your top finished coat. Come through with this. I'm going to try and bring this edge in as fine as I can. I'll get some on my trowel. I'm going to come up and through. So the trowel's fairly flat to the wall to get it on. And then the trowel goes on edge and rules it off. So again, fairly flat to the wall to get it on. And then rule it off. Always keep the edge of your trowel clean. So again, into this corner now. So on and rule it off. Always keep your beads clean. So again, I've got some on the edge of my trowel. I'm going to come in tight to the wall. And then take off what I don't need. And this process is fairly fast because you're only putting a tight coat on. Can you hear how I'm dragging it back off? You can listen. I'll put it on fairly flat and then trowel early on edge and take it back off. That's ensuring we've got a fine edge on this top. We're going to get any little trowel marks or sponge marks from the first 2 coats. This eradicates it. It's always worth putting on the extra coat and taking your time with it. I could have just bladded this on this morning, left it to dry, and then sanded it back. You won't get a good finish, and you've got all that sanding to do. So for me, I'll do the hard work and the trowel can. And that'll take away my sanding. And also, if you put it on flat with a trowel, then you know you've got it smooth. You're not going to start sanding into it and taking bits out that you don't want. What you're going to do is you're going to pass with your trowel, and your trowel's going to tell you if it's got a slash in it, and it hole's not filling out. When you take your time with it, it's not as hard as it looks. Okay, so we've done our last pass now, this will be our final pass. And now we need to make sure we've got all these edges nice and tight. 3 guesses if you guess what's coming out now. Clean the trowel. Here she comes. Okay, I know I've got all this edge on nice and flat. There's no trowel marks. All I need to worry about is this top edge. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is bring in this top edge. This will save any sanding that we need to do. So I'm not trying to rub away all the filler. I'm just trying to bring it in to ensure we've got the finest edge that we can get. These are worth the weight in gold. That could be sandpaper and rubbed up and down there if I haven't done this now. So now we need to bring that top edge in. Okay. So this is already drying and going firm. So we need to be sure we always have moisture now on our trowel. I'm going to bring that edge through. And as I bring this edge through, I'm having my trowel tight on the wall. We know that's had 3 coats. That edge is nice and smooth. That edge is okay, we've got that in earlier. Leave that now, let that dry properly. That's good enough for the painter. There's no lips, no raised spots, and we've got that straight line. Welcome back to the channel. So while we're here, we've done this bottom line, brought that through nice and straight. We've now got some really, really bad plastering along these edges. We've got some really pronounced lips. These are actually sanded back. Then on this side, the camera won't show you justice, but this is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Tight edge squiggled all over it because he wants rid of it. I don't blame him. So welcome to your £500,000 house. This is how it gets built. Okay, so we're sanding it down. We took away the eye bits. There's still undulations. So for all the eye bits, there's left low bits as well. So this now needs filling out. If we're quick, we can use that same filler. So they can all dry together. Same on this side's really bad. So you only get so far with sanding it back, then you start to think about filling it back out again. So we've still got a bit of time on this filler. Not a great deal, but we've got a bit of life in it. So let's crack on. Okay, because we know this is a bit of a step in the lid, we need to blend it right out. I'll show you now. So some on the trowel, bring it through. Let's get rid of all these undulations. You see where the trowel's missing? I'll break these more here. I'll clean these as you go. Okay, so we're going to bring this line through now. What we need to do, we need to keep it as fine as we can on both edges, but we also need to get rid of these undulations, imperfections. We're going to come up and over. Okay, when you're filling these out, I'll see the lads on the side. That's not going to do it, okay? It will get rid of the bare plaster, but that is not going to get rid of the undulations. You need to bring it right the way through, because you'll find you're just building out more of a ridge. So again, large passes this time, try and bring it back through. I could go this way to try and get rid of them, but I won't further than the trowel. I want a decent coverage on that, so I know I've got it blended properly. Okay, so we've brought that through. Now I'm going to let that pick up a little bit. We've got 2 options at this stage. One, let it dry completely and sand in these edges if you need to. You could sponge it, but I don't want it. I'm going to give that a 3rd coat. If you let it do the 3rd coat, then I know two options at this stage. Lightly sand these edges and just run over it, or go back over it with some more game and trowel. Personally, more game and trowel is my option. As you see the slack there, so when I come through with it, it's missing. I need to fill that out. So all I'm looking to do on this now is get a tight coat on. Cover any slacks and put a final finish on it. Okay, as I brought that through, I'm trying to keep the section as thin as I can. So as I'm working, I've got the sponge float, I bring the edges in, top edge say, now we need to pass it again with the trowel. Okay, so we're passing the trowel, we've got a few unstanding water marks, but they will dry and blend in. The main thing is we've got these edges. So again, when I'm going over this work now, this is my first pass, so my second pass has to come past the first pass. Otherwise all you can do is build an edge that you don't want. So can you see how I'm taking my time with it? I know I don't need to rush this. Okay, as I pass then, look at all that slack there. More gear on. And off. Again, on. Off. Again, more slack there, a big gearing, and we'll move off. Again, trowel fairly flat to the wall for the first pass, and bring your blade out to take away the excess. And every time I'm passing, I'm going over the original first two coats. Again, please follow. Okay, unfloat. Bring in your edges. Plenty of moisture on this one now. Okay, trowel, keep your trowel wet. these edges in, then bits of water will dry. The main thing is, keep that moving, the main thing is it's on, it's flat, we've got that line straight. Hopefully we've done a decent job. I'm happy now when all this is painted. We've got a lovely flat surface, we've got none of them ridges now. You've got to watch how it's taken 3 coats to try and get rid of it. We're happy. Everything's done, it's all flat, paint can get in here now. If you like what you've seen, like and subscribe. Plenty more stuff coming out on the channel. Remember, you best make that and get a decent trowel. Thanks for watching. Okay, so today I've had to straighten that line up. That was a real mess. Now before all the plasterers, all the taping jointers start on me going, you try and do it, it's not easy. Well, let me just show you how easy it really is. Okay, so I've tape and jointed this yesterday. I'm going to give it a second coat. I've just given that top end a second coat there. You can see how it's, the filler's a different colour because it's wet. Right. There you go. Straight line. Not tricky, is it? Honestly. I done that one the other day. That's been tape and jointed as well. Straight line. It's not tricky at all. Just take your time with it. Stop rushing, boys. I know you're on price, but still. There you go. So if anyone thinks that Patcher's job is easy, you just go around filling the odd hole, let me tell you now, this is what sort of things we have to put up with daily. Okay? So boarding these, skimming them out or tape and jointing them. But look how straight we get them edges. There we go. Thank you.